Thank you, Michael. Always appreciated. It's not the first time event. Please give yourselves a round of applause for showing up. Yay! My name is Kat Patnote. I will be your MC for this morning, and I am looking forward to the proceedings and the announcement that's coming. But of course, before we do anything, as is our tradition, we would like to invite Elder Linda St. Cyr up to give us an opening prayer and start us out in a good way. Yes, and if you are not already standing, please rise. That's also part of the custom.
Oh, yes, okay. Wow, good morning, everybody. So good to see you all. And what an exciting day. And I'm so happy to be part of this. I'm also pleased to provide the prayers for this historical event. And I want to acknowledge that we're on the homeland of the Red River Métis and on Treaty 1 territory. God, our Creator, thank you for your love and for blessing us with another beautiful day. Please help us to face each day full of faith, courage, and confidence in you. We are grateful for the opportunity to come together for this important landmark celebration. It's through the vision of many that this historical and iconic corner of Portage and Main is once again open for pedestrian traffic. We pray for the safety of all those who will use this corner. Thank you for all the participants who made this possible. The MMF, the national government of the Red River Métis, the ownership of 201 Portage and the Richardson Building Exchange District Biz, Economic Development Winnipeg, Tourism Winnipeg, and the Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce. Bless them all and continue imparting your wisdom and strength on them all. Thank you in advance for your protection and provision for our every need. May we be a blessing to everyone around us, and may we bring you glory in all we say and do. Lord, we ask that you continue to keep us safe, happy, and healthy. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Elder Linda. We'd also like to acknowledge that we've got a number of, along with President Chartrand, we've got a number of our cabinet members from the Manitoba Métis Federation present. Minister Thomas, Minister Anderson, and a few others who I'm now blanking on, unfortunately. Minister Remillard, Minister Carrier, Minister Bowden. Lots of our cabinet are here today because I think they also recognize that not only is this a significant acquisition, it's something that speaks to our hearts and our souls as Red River Métis. We'd also like to recognize the provincial government representatives, including Minister Smith. I believe I also saw MLA Loisel here. And if I am missing you, please give me a wave, because I always like to acknowledge our Red River Métis Caucus friends and family from the province. So thank you all for joining us. The first speaker that we're going to have is going to be a lady who wears many hats in our cabinet and in our government. Not only is she the spokeswoman for Infinity Women's Secretariat, she's also our Minister of Finance, our Minister of Human Resources, our Minister of Information Technology, and probably a few things that haven't been listed, but I think you guys would, you get a sense of how hard she works. So without further ado, please come up and give your remarks, Minister Campbell.
Thank you, Kat. And thank you, Elder Linda, for the opening prayer. Welcome to all our elders, President Chartrand, MMF cabinet colleagues, dignitaries, citizens, and invited guests. This is truly a special day for us, the Red River Métis. I am honored to be here for this celebration event and to be a part of today's important announcement. Over the past few years, we have further established our presence in downtown Winnipeg, and in particular at the infamous corner of Portage and Main. This building, the one next door at 191 Pioneer Avenue, and the parking lot behind us, was acquired by MMF last year. In 2020, we acquired the Bank of Montreal, and you have to believe that we have been trying to not call it the BMO building for a long time, because people still reference it, the BMO building. This building sits right at the southeast corner of Portage and Main. I'm just going to share quickly with you that apparently with the barricades down now, it's actually the best corner of the whole, all four corners of Portage and Main. Most of you, if not all of you, know that that building will serve as our Red River Métis National Heritage Center, which is scheduled to open in early 2027. The reopening of Portage and Main to pedestrians ties in very well with our Heritage Center, where we will be inviting our citizens, the public, researchers, artists, school children, and visitors from all around the world to come and learn about our people, our history, and our culture. The historic materials and cultural items on display today are so remarkable. They are amazing to look at, the amount of detail and the similarities from what was past to what is today. The similarities in the beading and the patterns and the flowers and how the artists then and the artists today are continuing on with that amount of work and the legacy. They tell our stories and reflect the challenges we have faced and showcase some of the most impressive beadwork, embroidery, quill work, and artwork you will ever see. It's important to highlight that the majority of these works were created by Red River Métis women, who are our strength of our people. The MMF has been collecting artifacts and archival materials, as well as culturally significant items, over the past several years. Some of these include the poems of Louis Riel, a beaded scout's jacket, fur stretchers from the Turtle Mountain region, a large archival and historic book collection, and an original ambrotype, which is a photographic process on glass that produces a positive image when viewed against a dark background, of Louis Riel Sr. and Gulama Zaire, to name a few. This is truly a reflection of the MMF's commitment to bringing our history home, which will be held and displayed within the Red River Métis National Heritage Center. To add to these efforts, I am truly honored to announce our latest and most significant addition to date. Again, this is an addition to what we've been collecting over the years. I am pleased to announce that the MMF and Mr. Gregory Schofield have concluded the transfer of ownership and stewardship of our grandmother's collection. The MMF has been working with Gregory over the past year on the respectful and responsible transfer of our grandmother's collection. Gregory Schofield, who is here with us today and will be speaking shortly, is a proud Red River Métis. His roots are in the historic community of Kinnesota, Reedy Creek, Manitoba. He is a renowned author, a beadwork artist, and a professor at the University of Victoria. And I had the honor of speaking with him just before we came down, and he is a very detailed artist. And I said to him, I have only half done projects. he said, then you wouldn't do well in my class. And I probably wouldn't, because I'm all about the visiting. For over 2 decades, Gregory has dedicated himself to finding what he refers to as grandmother pieces to bring them home to clean and care for and respectfully research all of these pieces. The collection is a recognized, fully created collection featuring 142 pieces, of which 25 grandmother items are present with us today. The collection includes beadwork, quill work, silk embroidery, and weaving. Some of the works date as far back as 1830 and includes everything from clothing, horse blankets, wall pockets, and fire bags. The collection represents our homeland geographically and demonstrates our migration, fashion, mobility, and identity as a people. This is more than a collection. It is an artistic and culturally relevant legacy. To research and assemble a collection of this caliber is a significant, notable accomplishment. We are honored to welcome these pieces to downtown Winnipeg and to the heart of our homeland, and deeply grateful to Gregory for his dedication to preserving and protecting our heritage. I want to leave you with this, and I know you've heard it and you've seen it and you've probably read it. The words of Louis Riel, "My people will sleep for 100 years, but when they awake, it will be the artists who give them back their spirit." Thank you.
Minister Campbell, you should know better than leaving without a gift.
Let's get a picture. Okay. Who wants it? What's the picture? I have no idea. Nobody wants a picture. Combs. I know. Good, thank you.
Yes, the president is reminding me that apparently I really like a photo op with me in it, so fair enough. I accept that. As Minister Campbell mentioned, I always think this is a good point. It's the women who did the majority of the embroidery and the beadwork, but we tended to decorate our men. The phrase, I think, is that we wanted to make them look like peacocks. I don't know if it's because we thought they needed the decoration, but I'll leave that for you guys to determine in the future. So thank you, Minister Campbell. Now I have the privilege of introducing the Honourable Bernadette Smith, who is not only a strong and mighty presence within the province with the housing, homelessness, and addictions portfolio, she's also a very proud Red River Métis woman. So, Minister Bernadette Smith.
Good morning, everyone. It's very nice to see all of your beautiful faces here. And first of all, I just want to acknowledge our elder Linda for that very beautiful prayer this morning. It's also very nice to open up in prayer. And I just want to acknowledge Minister Campbell also for those beautiful words. And also, of course, Gregory for repatriating these beautiful items back to our Métis people and the work that he's done and the collection that he's done. So it's my great honor to bring greetings on behalf of our Premier, Wab Kinew, and my colleagues at the Manitoba Legislature. I'm a little taller, I guess, So what an honor it is to be here today in this great space in the heart of our city at the iconic corner of Portage and Main. Before I begin, I just want to acknowledge that we're gathered here today on the ancestral homeland of the Red River Métis Nation, and which I'm a proud member of. This place where the Red River and the Assiniboine rivers meet has long been a center of trade, diplomacy, and kinship. It's also a place where the Métis Nation was born and where its spirit continues to thrive. I also want to acknowledge that the First Nation Treaty 1 territory that we stand on, and all those who call this homeland. Thank you to President David Chartrand, of course, and the Manitoba Métis Federation, and also his cabinet for hosting such a significant event along with our valued downtown partners who were acknowledged earlier today. Today we mark more than just a reopening of a street corner. We celebrate the powerful act of reconnection between the Red River Métis and the land that had always been called home, between people, place, past, and present. The reopening represents not just improved accessibility and economic vitality, but the broader renewal and revitalization of our city's vibrant heart. Manitoba's capital was built on the lands and contributions of Indigenous peoples. The very intersection was a historic gathering place of trade where strong bonds were formed, including within the Red River Métis Nation. Their legacy, our legacy, is deeply woven in our collective identity. Winnipegern visitors can look forward to the opening of the Red River Métis National Heritage Centre, as Minister Campbell alluded to, here at the historic corner of Portage and Main in the former Bank of Montreal building, where you will get to see some of our collective history, learn and educate, and see tons of children come through that building. This visionary museum will honor the Métis Nation by preserving and sharing Métis culture, history, and identity. It'll be a place where stories are honored, where history is made visible, and where future generations will come to understand the enduring contributions of the Red River Métis Nation, the Métis people, and Manitoba, and to all of Canada. Today's reopening signifies partnership, reconciliation, and progress. We proudly recognize the Manitoba Métis Federation as the national government of the Manitoba Red River Métis, and the other community leaders dedicated whose efforts have made today possible. Our city and our province are stronger when we embrace and celebrate the vibrant heritage of our people. So on behalf of our Premier Rob Canoe and all Manitobans, I extend congratulations to President Chartrand, to his cabinet, and to MMF for your leadership in bringing this vision to life. Your work contributes and ensures that the spirit of this place, its history, our people, and its promise will never be forgotten. Merci, miigwech. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Smith, for those kind and warm words. It's not an insignificant moment either for us to be just so close to the newly reopened corner there, and our history is so profound there. If you haven't yet had a chance to walk the four corners, I strongly recommend that you do, either with us or at another point. I was also just gently reminded, and I should have known better because he is dressed very proudly like one of our peacocks. Minister Goodon is also here somewhere. Hiding in the background, that's why I didn't see him. Hello, thank you, Minister Goodon. My apologies for missing you in the first round. So now I would like to invite our mayor, who did actually spend a little time last week talking about the importance of this intersection and our history as a part of it. So I'm sure he'll have more remarks to make on that subject. Mayor Scott Gillingham.
Well, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. It's such an honor to be here today to join you for this very, very significant announcement today. Elder Linda, thank you so much for your opening prayer, as always. President Chartrand, thank you so much for the invitation to be here today. Minister Smith, always good to see you. And I won't name all the ministers. I was thinking there's more ministers here than at a church convention. It's great. But I'll miss out some names if I start listing them. But great to see all of you. And Robert Lozelle, good to see you as well, and other MLAs today. Before I begin, just comments about this day. Mr. President, I want to thank you very much and your team, Minister Carrier and others, for just the remarkable response that the MMF put together in the wildfire evacuations. I had the chance, yes. I know that the President and I spoke. There were several members of the Red River Métis Nation that were impacted directly by the need for evacuation, but even beyond that, I had the chance to stop by one of the distribution centers that the MMF hosted, and the volunteers were working like busy bees, and there was such an amazing response of generosity from the people. So thank you so much for caring for and loving fellow Manitobans. Thank you. I'm proud that as the City of Winnipeg, we have established a strong government-to-government relationship with the Manitoba Métis Federation, one that is rooted in mutual respect and a shared commitment to reconciliation, economic development, and a stronger future for all. Mr. President, thank you for your vision and your unwavering commitment to our downtown. The MMF's investment in this intersection and in the city's core, in other properties in the city's core, is bold, transformational, and deeply appreciated. And your leadership and the leadership of the MMF in reclaiming and revitalizing this corner is a powerful affirmation of the Red River Métis presence in the very heart of Winnipeg. As you heard, yes, just on Friday, we reopened Portage Main to pedestrian crossings for the first time in 46 years. And while it may seem like a small thing, being able to walk across the street, it represents something much larger. It's about accessibility. It's about inclusion. It's about building a downtown that is safer, more connected, and full of life. As I said last week, reopening this intersection is not a silver bullet. It's not the answer to all of our challenges in the downtown. There's so much work that we have yet to do. But it's part of the progress that we are all making, step by step, block by block, to build a downtown for everyone. We have more work to do to improve safety, to create more housing, to assist those who are struggling with homelessness. And I want to stop for a moment and give my word of appreciation to Minister Bernadette Smith. The Minister and I get a chance to meet regularly, and I can tell you she is so invested in the Your Way Home strategy and finding ways to help those relatives who are struggling on the street right now. It's not an easy task. It's going to take a long time, but Minister, you have my full support, and thank you for your work. But we also have work to do to drive economic growth in the downtown. And so many private sector investors are doing that. But this investment today, the work that the MMF is doing, is a step in the right direction. And it's work that we all continue to do to tackle together as partners. As I was just sitting, waiting my turn to speak, before anyone began to speak, I was noticing the banners up above. What a great vision. The national government of the Red River Métis, contributing to downtown revitalization, partnering with the private sector. So the MMF, thank you for seeing yourself as partners and those who are investing in our city. So to President Chartrand, the MMF team, all the partners, thank you so much for your leadership, your belief in Winnipeg's downtown, and certainly here, we're looking forward to the unveiling of these important artifacts. So thank you so much, Gregory, for your work. But this is indeed a place of culture, connection, and shared purpose. And this place represents our shared future. Thank you. Merci. Marcy.
Mayor Gillingham. Mayor Gillingham. You really can't leave out a Red River Métis podium without a gift. It's not happening. Thank you, Mayor Gillingham. One of the words you said, I think, really sort of hits home as to why these two pieces are connected. The opening of the corner of Portage and Main and the announcement of the Schofield collection coming home. Because it's about connection. It's about the things that were from here, that are coming back here. It's about restoration, and it's about the city thriving in the downtown. And as you know, President Chartrand is somebody who's very committed to that. Some of the language he's used in the past is that it can't fail, it won't fail. And that's something that when he gives that message, not just to the broader Winnipeg public, but to his people, we respond to it because we feel that sense of pride and ownership. And it's because of his vision that we get to drive around the city, and I use this phrase all the time, get to see the big juicy logo up in the sky, the MMF logo that everybody gets to drive around and see. It just makes me so happy. And the architect of that is none other than President David Chartrand. Oh, yeah, Schofield. Oh, no, Schofield.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got so excited. My bad. Actually, the person that we should be talking to first before President Chartrand is the gentleman who has actually carried the thread for so long and created the connections that we're now seeing visible today. So if I can introduce this fellow, he's the one who's been talked about as a curator, as a caregiver, and as the person who's bringing it home, Mr. Gregory Schofield, the curator of the collection. I'm so sorry, I got all excited.
Danse, and good morning to dignitaries, ministers, President Chartrand, citizens, community members, and special guests. I'm quite overwhelmed, and suffice it to say, I'm very, very honored to be here. In celebration of the grandmothers coming home, returning home, I was thinking about what I would like to say in kind of my allotted time today. I was thinking about what I'd like to say in terms of them coming home and actually really them returning home. And I thought what I would do is I would share a little bit of an excerpt from our 2023 book called Our Grandmother's Hands, Repatriating Métis Material Art. I want to share a bit of an excerpt from that. Our grandmother's hands. I always imagined them as fine-boned birds taking musical flight over a pattern traced onto velvet, stroud, or hide. I can see them darting in and out of the gardens of their creation, landing for hours on a certain flower or spray of berries. And as always, I see them, our grandmother's hands, singing in the glow of an oil lamp or candlelight, stitching us stories with their graceful fingers, stories that are finally coming home, stories that need to be told, and stories that need to be heard. I've been often asked about when I talk about the grandmothers coming home. I never know how to answer this, although I do know coming home means the grandmothers, first and foremost, are not lost or circulating out in the world far away from us, their little ancestors. It also means they're not sitting in boxes or storage bins. It means they're not being used as currency in galleries or auction houses with prices attached to their worth. It means they're not being used as props for TV shows or movies. It means they are not being misidentified in one way or another. And it means they're no longer invisible. It means they're no longer forgotten. I suppose, too, in a physical context, home means the grandmothers are here with me and with someone who has learned to be in the quiet presence of our ancestor grandmother's art. Home, too, means the grandmothers are back into Métis hands and back into the hands of our artists, scholars, and community members. It means, too, I am only their momentary caregiver, ensuring that they are loved, knowing that they will one day find a permanent home safe within our nation. It's hard to believe I wrote Métis Nation, celebrating the grandmother's coming home, physically and spiritually. Honor and pride I feel knowing the grandmothers will now be home permanently at the Red River Métis National Heritage Center. In closing, I think about my own deep ancestral roots in Manitoba and the ancestors, particularly the grandmothers who came before me. I am fortunate to carry some of their stories and histories. We must always remember them, the grandmothers, whose hands were fine-boned birds, taking musical flight over a pattern traced onto velvet, stroud, or hide. We must always remember the waterways and pathways of which they carried their patterns and materials, their songs and laughter. We must always remember their stories, the ones that have been stitched to us of our history, the ones that are now home. Naskum tanawa, merci.
Thank you very much. No use getting introduced twice. I'll keep my comments as short as possible. Today's a very important day for us. It's a vision of over 2 decades ago where we wanted to look towards the future of truly telling our story in a country we helped build, a province we created, and a home which was ours, the prairies. And the Heritage Center, which is, of course, some call a museum, is just right beside us on the right. I believe on the right. Yes, I think I'm in the right location. And I can't say enough of what it will mean to us when we see thousands upon thousands of people going through it, to look at the work of what we have been given to us through collections, that Schofield has referenced. It's our second edition of collections we've now achieved, and both from British Columbia. And it reminds me, over 2 decades ago, when I was bidding for the Riel poem, Riel, one of his last writings in the prison before they murdered him in Canada. And I was bidding for it in Toronto, and lead a people and try to find a place for his families and for all those that stood to believe in him. And so when I was bidding for it, there was some from Asia bidding on it. I bought that last writing for $35,000. So I was quite shocked to see. I thought I was going to spend a couple $1,000, maybe a couple $100. Who cared about the Métis? But somebody obviously did. There was a stark interest. And again, we see that in where we're going. Today, you got my ministers here. Minister, of course, Alfred Anderson, Minister of Culture, which you'll see his van flying around and celebrating Métis Day in Selkirk, our flags flying proudly. And you'll see the Identity Minister, Will Goodon here, and who is going to connect with this great work you're going to see. And some of it goes right at the beginning of 1830, I think, is what Schofield's stating. And you'll see the beautiful work that's there. And we got most of it, my accent doesn't let me say certain words, authenticated by somebody as the great, like Janine Croce, who was renowned for her knowledge of beadwork. So we've got a good sample of that. And I was thinking when I came out the elevators, when Michael was playing the fiddle, and Michael's he's going to be our legendary fiddler. And I was thinking of how the Métis must have looked in their buckskin jackets when they're doing the jig and dancing, how beautiful it was many, many moons ago. And you look at our country, Canada, it's a young country. We're a diverse entity of people coming from all over the world to make what Canada is today. Somewhere we got lost in all of that as a people and the importance of who we are. And now we're going to try to revive that. I echo the Canadians, and I'm proud of and Riel actually was very open to diversity, very open to diversity. He believed that we had such a rich land and natural resources that more people should come and live in the prairies in Western Canada. So we have not changed our position as a government. But what I failed to see, and I struggle to capture as a leader, is to see the very essence of Canada telling its own story of its existence. I hope we don't have to wait half a century to realize that, or 5 centuries to realize that. You know, you go to Europe, and I travel a lot, and you'll see how they talk about their history going back sometimes thousands of years. We're only a couple 100-year-old country, not even that. But we should be telling the people of who we are and how proud we are. Like you heard the mayor say, and I thank him and I give him kudos again for opening Portage in Maine. That was what, 40-something years ago? 46 years ago it was shut down and changed. There was a vision then. A vision was there. That's the French coming out of me and my hands start to move. But there was a vision then, a different vision. And that has been explored and used to its full extent. Now there's a new vision, a new idea of looking at opening Portage in Maine to what it could be. Remember, we just went through COVID. COVID hurt our economic empire in our country. In fact, in some places, businesses actually went down and never recovered. The economic arm was quashed in Canada and in the world. Now we got COVID too. That's Trump. That's who's COVID too. He's come along, and he's trying to hurt our economic engine. And Portage in Maine is hurting. Portage is hurting. We need to all support Portage, and that's why I stand with this mayor, and I'll fight with this mayor to help Portage in Maine. We own about 600,000 square feet now of asset downtown Portage in Maine. So we've now transferred over 600 employees downtown to help downtown recover, and we're not finished. We're still looking at a couple of buildings we might be buying, which we'll announce shortly. We also have new tenants we'll be announcing very shortly that I'm very proud to say. I can't say their names. Wait till the ink is dry and they can't get away from me. No, I'm just joking. They're really structured and agreed to, and we'll be announcing that very shortly. We're very proud of the new tenants that are becoming in this 200 Main Street, which we own. They'll be going in there. Then we'll be moving some people from over there to here. So it's an ongoing transition of change. But we all have to do it together. And we believe the Heritage Centre, the museum that's going to be here, is going to be a drawing card. Just like we have the Canadian Rights Museum not far from us, we have the St. Boniface Museum not far from us, and we have several smaller places where you can actually see history. Ours will be, in fact, what's interesting about ours right now, the Bank of Montreal was built in 1913. It actually faces exactly due west. And it was a message by the Bank of Montreal in 1913. That's what the boom of the fur trade. And they were here to do business, and Europe was here to buy. Europe was here to take. And fur was the big commodity they were after. So the Bank of Montreal, I'm sure, hopefully not by accident, actually faced the pillars and its bank directly west, where all the economy was making a massive investment of development throughout the prairies. So you'll see now our message to all of Canada. We want you to come visit Winnipeg. It's a beautiful place. Don't let the media scare you with the stories. It's a beautiful place. It's still a safe place, so let's be proud of it. And let me say this. I'll never tell the media you're fake news like Trump. Trust me. But the stories, the good stories, are not told enough. And I hope our Heritage Centre will be a good story that people want to talk about. It will draw, without doubt, thousands upon thousands and thousands of people to come downtown. The Fairmont which I thank Artley Richardson and his family on the investment they're making there. And I can't wait to see the beautification of the finishing product of downtown. It's not yet finished. All you're seeing is just cars moving and everything right now. But the beautification that we had the privilege of seeing, where the mayor and the city is going, is going to make you feel a great sigh of relief that Portage and Maine is alive, and Portage is alive again. So kudos to your council. Kudos to Minister Bernadette, who will be helping and throughout that prospect. She's my cousin, by the way. She doesn't listen to me at all, but she's my cousin. You know, just because she's a minister, she thinks she doesn't have to listen. She doesn't realize in the family hierarchy there's rules. Anyways, let me say this again to all my cabinet that's here, and Gregory, and of course Linda St. Cyr, held her for the prayer. The Métis minister, Robert, is here. Ouzel, I can't say his name. How do I say it again? Wazel. So, Wazel. So again, thank you all that showed up today. Thank you all to come and work and help us try to help build downtown. This is not just about our Heritage Museum anymore. It's actually about helping downtown. And I can't wait until early 2027. You remember this day today, this announcement. In 2027, you'll see, here's just a little touch of what you're going to see. But as you heard from Field, and we bought from another collector. How many pieces in the other collector? Thousands of pages of document history. So it's going to be there for everybody to enjoy, and hopefully you can be proud as we are of what we're trying to do to help send a message of who we are, how proud we are, and how important Canada. Okay, thank you.
We're also going to do the photo op.
Okay. Thank you.
Before you get too comfortable, President Chartrand, I think this is the moment where we'd like to invite all of our speakers to come and stand behind the podium here for the reveal of just a portion of what Gregory Schofield was able to collect and care for all this time. So, let me get out of the way. I'll let the president repeat it later. So while Thank you, President Chartrand. And one of the beautiful things about this is you can see that the embroidery and the beadwork, you can see where the origins start to connect together. So we're going to do some more photo ops. We're also going to invite some of the housekeeping information. We will do a media scrum here as soon as we've officially closed the events. We also want to direct you to the section over here where you will see a number of different pieces on display. The ones that have flowers on them are the ones that come from Mr. Schofield's collection directly. There are also going to be guided tours offered of the Portage and Main intersection. The interpretive tours are with staff from the Louis Riel House and elsewhere dressed in period attire. You can see them milling around. They'd be great people to speak to. And if you want to visit and help yourself to refreshments at lunch, you're more than welcome. Before we do anything else, we do not close an event without a closing prayer. So if everybody can just slow the roll for just a second, I'd like to invite Elder Linda over to close the prayers. We always ask for respectful silence while that's taking place. into St. Cyr-Sarek.
Thank you. God, our Creator, just as we began the day with you, we end with you. Thank you for a successful grand opening of this historical and iconic corner. We appreciate the opportunity to gather together for this event and pray that events like this will keep us moving forward in a positive direction. Goodness and faithfulness, and for giving us this wonderful day to enjoy. You protect us and always provide for our needs. For that, we are truly grateful. Please continue blessing everyone here. May your love and grace continue to guide us as we live out the days that you've given us. Please grant us all traveling mercies and keep us, our families, and friends safe and healthy until... Oh, thank you.